Testing. Can anyone hear me? It's been a little bit, but I'm back. We're gonna finish off this build. Looks like I'm live on TikTok. Let me just make sure everything's working. A little bit of a delay. Bit on the blurry side. Let's see. Let's focus in on that. Can you guys see that clearly enough? Yeah, I suppose. It's a bit laggy on the TikTok side of things. Let me just double check my settings here, make sure everything is going okay. Finn, welcome YouTube chat. We have Finn. How's it going? YouTube is looking pretty good to me. Looks like the TikTok stream is a bit laggy, but not too bad. 60 FPS. Sure. That's probably good enough. It'll be a little laggy on the TikTok side, but I'm just gonna get right into it now. So, I think it's been almost a week since I've last streamed, so let me update you guys on what's been going on. So the last time I was live streaming and trying to build this lightsaber, I had an issue with the soundboard. At least I thought so. So I was waiting on a brand new soundboard to arrive. This is the soundboard for any of you who are unfamiliar. This is the Crystal Focus 10 or the CFX, specifically the 9-axis version, which is important because that allows you to have the magnetic sensor, the force activation ability, among other things. But yeah, basically when I installed this the first time, everything seemed to work great until I put this inside of the hilt and attached a blade to it. And then I had issues with the blade being flickery and white or whatever it may be, basically doing the wrong thing. So what I ended up doing was testing another soundboard. I took this one out and put a new one in. That still didn't work. And then I tried plugging it into my test kit. So it's basically another soundboard, so I just plugged all the wires in and it worked perfectly fine, which was pretty confusing. Which is why I thought, I actually did this before I replaced the soundboard, which is why I thought I needed a new soundboard. So I thought both soundboards I installed in here were broken, so I bought a new soundboard. And then when I put that third soundboard in here, which is what you see here, I did that on Saturday when I just got the new soundboard in. But oddly enough, when I put the new soundboard in, everything worked except the blade, once again. So this time I knew for a fact that this soundboard was brand new, worked perfectly, so it should not be having those kinds of issues. So it had to be some sort of SD card software thing. So I spent some time trying to figure that out on Saturday. What I ended up discovering was most likely it just needed an updated firmware. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Crystal Focus, but you have to update the firmware every now and again whenever there's a new one out, or you don't have to, but if you have more modern files, which I suppose I had, it's not really compatible with past firmware updates or something. Or it could be the case that the soundboard was using a previous update that my SD card was ahead of. No idea. But basically, I just updated the firmware to the most modern release. It's a beta version, and then everything worked perfectly fine. So I went through many hours of testing, buying a brand new soundboard and replacing the soundboard a few times actually, just to discover I needed to update the firmware. So let that be a lesson to everyone who's been watching the series or just watching it for fun right now. Just test the SD card a lot after you're done installing if things aren't working. Try everything you possibly can and everything you can think of to fix the SD card so that you don't have hours of time tearing apart what you've been working on. So yeah, update the firmware. Check that firmware, even if you think it's fine. I thought it was perfectly fine. I thought I had the updated firmwares. I guess I didn't, so I updated the firmware to the most modern release, which you can find on Plector Labs website, and then everything worked great. So today, what I'm going to be doing is, I'll answer all your guys' questions in a minute, but basically today what I'm going to be doing is doing the very, very final thing, and installing the tiny little rods that I prepared in the previous live stream. So these tiny rods, or these tiny tubes actually, they're going to go into these holes, here, here, and all the way around here. So basically about 12 of them, I think. Glue them in place, and then that means this entire thing is completely done. I will go over a couple things that I did in the past few days just to wrap things up, but yeah. We have the tubes to install, and then my customer wanted me to swap emitter pedals. He wanted to have the Astoria Workshop weathered emitter pedals and put them on the one that he's gonna get, so I'll show you how to do that later. Now let's check the YouTube chat real quick. What's the price for the lightsaber and where you can buy it? Where can you find the lightsaber? Well, if you want the lightsaber, okay, there's a few answers to this question. If you want the hilt itself with no electronics, no installation, etc., just the hilt, you would have to get it from the Saber Armory. This is the Rey Scavenger, but it is currently discontinued, and I don't think they're ever going to release another batch. They might one day, but as of now, there's no plans to release it. So you'll have to go and get it secondhand. I recommend going to Facebook groups like The Vault, a custom lightsaber community, Universal Lightsaber Community, Lightsaber Market, Saber Trader, that kind of thing. Look for it being sold secondhand. It shouldn't be too difficult, but you'll be able to find some. And then sometimes you'll find it clean, which has no weathering, no wrap, and sometimes you'll find it pre-weathered, like this one. If you do get a clean version and want it weathered like this, send it over to Astoria Workshop, and he can get that sorted out for you. Now, if you want the installed lightsaber, the Master Chassis in particular, you would have to contact an installer, like me, reach out to them, and work it out, basically. So, the price for these things, the handle, or the hilt itself, with the weathering, probably ends up being around $500 or so. Because I think it's $350 for the hilt without weathering. You could find some with this weathering for around that price. And then around $170 or $180, something like that, for the weathering from Astoria Workshop, which is actually really great pricing. And then for the parts alone, just the electronics and the metal pieces, you're going to be looking at like $1,000. So to get both the hilt and the parts for the Master Chassis, you're looking at about $1,500 right there. And that's not including the installation, which can get up to $1,000 depending on what sort of upgrades. For instance, I put as many upgrades as I possibly could fit in here, so it makes it really expensive. Such as a real quartz crystal. I could do the weathering of the brass, which ends up looking like this. And then we have, what else? All the accent pixels I add, that's not supposed to be in here, or this wasn't designed for. I have a pixel ring up top. I have a pixel and a pixel strip going all the way up and down this section. I have a pixel ring here, and then I have 3 pixels on top of the speaker, or the behind the speaker right here that lights it up. So I'll show you how it all works when I put it together. Do I sell it any already fully customized? Yeah, I mean, mainly I do commissions where you reach out to me and then tell me what you want, and then I'll make it for you, for the most part. But sometimes I also sell sabers that I already have completed. I have a few like on my workbench or whatever that I need to make that I haven't made yet, that I would hope to sell in the future, but it's a lot harder finding people to buy lightsabers that are already made versus doing commission work where they're looking for a specific lightsaber and then you make it for them.
Welcome.
So here we go.
Stability at 93.138%.
Basically just showing you how it looks.
Ready. Core stability confirmed. Maintenance mode deactivated. Crystal core shielded. Goodbye.
And then the force activation is when you use the ring and do... I don't think I've calculated it. Yes, calibrated it yet.
93.138%.
So I'll have to do that in a minute. But here you go.
Monitoring energy. Core stability confirmed. Maintenance mode deactivated.
You can get a handcrafted sword for a third of the price? Yeah, absolutely.
Goodbye.
That's why swords are a way better thing to get into if you want to start collecting awesome things. Because I have quite a few swords that are way, way cheaper than these. The reason these are so expensive is because, well, I think the design aspect costs a lot of money. There's wiring involved. You have to have knowledge about software. You have to put all these things together, etc. It's just a different world, I guess, on how it all works. But ultimately, it's up to you what kind of thing you want to spend your money on.
Core stability confirmed. Crystal core shielded. Goodbye.
Alex Berg on TikTok says, "Hey Avery, what's up, dude? I love your work." Thank you. Yeah, I'm just showing off what I basically have completed. Yeah. And it's going to be a pretty easy stream today. And I'm going to be just finishing it up, really, and then showing it off to you guys to show you how it all works. But I guess I'll get started on it and try not to delay too much. So, in the previous stream, which was like a week ago, I made all of these tubes. I cut them to the right size, and we're going to be gluing them in these small little holes, and then that'll be that for the chassis. It'll be 100% complete. So right now I'm just going to try and find a bunch of them about the same size as each other. And then we're going to glue it in. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. I'd love to answer them. Nothing about conspiracy theories or anything. Like if you have fun with that, because I got banned because I was talking about a YouTube channel that I like to watch. Not that any of it's real, it's just fun and entertaining, but TikTok apparently didn't like that, so no talking about it. But other than that, I'd be happy to have discussions, so let's have some fun. Today is going to be a nice and easy one. Am I in California? I am in California, yeah. I do really nice work, thank you very much. I try my best. Sometimes it takes a lot longer than I'd like. But I do try my best to have the end result be something I'm very proud of. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. One more. That one maybe? Yeah. That one is looking good. So we have our 12. We have a few extra as well that we can save for later. Hopefully I cut these to the right size. Should be fine. You're letting a kid borrow your saber for Halloween, hoping you get it back in pristine order. Ooh. Yeah. Yeah. See, any lightsabers I lend out to anyone is going to be on the cheaper end, so I don't have to stress out too much. Nothing like this. I don't think I'd ever lend out something like this. Unless I trust them, but I don't know if there's anyone out there that well, no, there's a few people I know that I could trust with lightsabers, but they're the ones that are like in the saber community, build sabers, or have a lot of these types of sabers. So, let me see here. What else did I do while not streaming? I showed you guys the wires in the previous one. We put that together along with cutting the rods. Oh yeah, I added a little bit of glue to the top of the chassis to hold the metal in place, just to make it easier for us to put in the rods, because ultimately the rods are what's going to hold the plastic and the metal together. Once they're in, I have no clue how to take them out, so I had to be absolutely certain that everything was in its right place. And everything works perfectly. What are my thoughts on Profi OS 7? You currently use OS 6, since you were learning Profi V 2.2 for the first time. OS 7 and OS 6 are basically exactly the same. OS 7 has some new setups that you can do, but just swap over to OS 7, and you don't even have to use any of the OS 7 like new features. You could literally just do the same thing you did for OS 6, but use OS 7, and then you could slowly learn. Oh no. All this glue is coming out. Why? So yeah, I would say just set up OS 7 so that if you ever wanted to branch out, you could. Nothing wrong with that. My glue is all messed up. It's like pressurized or something. It's so strange. Looks like it's stopping, so that's good. But yeah, I'm going to show you guys why this lightsaber is so complicated and expensive, the hilt in particular, because with replacing the emitter pedals, you'll have kind of a look on why it's a pain. And it's just purely a collector item. It's probably the least... It's the lightsaber that is least conducive to using it as a lightsaber. So no hitting things, no doing anything like that, because it's very fragile, that emitter section. You live in Germany, Finn. That's pretty awesome. It's pretty cool that people so far away from where I live are watching my videos. Okay, so let's add a little bit of glue here. Nothing too crazy. So how are you guys doing on this lovely afternoon, I guess, or whatever time or day it is for you guys wherever you live? Let's put this like right here. And then just a little push. There we go. Now you guys can kind of see what the end result is. So instead of that black hole, we now have a little tube. And I spent extra time making sure the tubes were open, so any light that wants to pass through can pass through, and it just looks cooler. Sleeping? What time is it in Germany? Over here in California, it's 2:34 p.m. Bob, welcome back. You have not missed any live streams. And I just started this one like 20 minutes ago. I already went over some of the things that I did while not streaming. But essentially, all the troubles I've been having with the soundboard, etc., turns out it's not actually a soundboard issue. So I didn't need to buy a new soundboard, didn't need to replace any soundboards, etc. I had it all right the first time. The only problem was that I guess the firmware on my SD card and the firmware on my soundboard, or something along those lines, just did not align with each other. So I updated the firmware to the most recent firmware, the beta version on Collector Lab's website, and everything worked perfectly, which is highly annoying because I spent so much time and some extra money to try and get it to get fixed. But ultimately, I can use that soundboard, the second one I got, or the new one I got. I can use it. Man. Just gotta put that in there. And then just flatten it out. There we go. That should be good. "5:34 p.m. in Jersey." That's right. East Coast. And today we're just going to be adding these small tubes to finish off the chassis. And then I'm going to be swapping emitter pedals between the Astoria Workshop weathered one, hilt, and the Multiverse Props one, because my customer likes the Astoria Workshop one better, so we're going to be swapping emitter pedals, so I'll show you guys how to do that. And then at the very end, I'll just be showing it off a little bit, which will be fun. Then I think tomorrow I'm going to film, edit, and post the final video on this hilt. Basically showing it off, using it as an instruction thing for the customer. Everything that he should know, that kind of stuff. What the heck? Oh no! That went way too far in. That's really annoying. God damn it. Why does this always have to be so difficult? Let's have a look here. Well, I guess there's just going to be an extra tube hanging out inside of there, because there's no way I'm getting that out easily. Unless I can reach it from the inside here. Maybe? I could probably get it out. Just gotta push it in more. And then find out where it landed inside. It's over here somewhere. That's the trick with these little rods. Pretty tricky to get them to be pushed in just the right amount. Not entirely sure where it went, actually. Went somewhere. Just vanished. Am I still in TikTok jail? No, just got out of it like an hour ago. So that's kind of why I'm back. But yeah, I wasn't able to appeal it, which is unfortunate. tried, but my guess is there's some kind of bots or AI or some system. They don't use real people. But yeah, pretty annoying. But at least it's... Where is it? But at least it's over now. Right now I'm looking for a tube that I just pushed in, and it has vanished. Oh, there it is. Okay. All right. Just have to figure out what the heck happened to it. Well, it's not rattling around. It's gone somewhere. That's crazy. It just vanished. Let's see, can I knock it out somewhere? No? Well, as long as it doesn't cause any issues, it can just sort of hang out. We gotta be very careful with these rods, because they might just vanish. See, here I was thinking we'd have a nice, easy time of it. Who was I kidding? We never get an easy time with this. So let's just grab a brand new one. And continue on. See you, Finn. Thanks for tuning in. You can check out the full video that I make showing it off when it gets posted, hopefully tomorrow or so. Then you'll be able to see how it all turned out. Okay. I'll have to clean off the metal a little bit with some acetone, probably just to clean up the excess glue marks. We'll have to be very careful with that, because you don't want to get acetone on. Don't want to get acetone on the what do you call it? On the plastic. But then it'll turn all white and nasty. Just a little bit at a time. God damn it. Again? Gotta be really careful with this. These things just get pushed through completely. I've never had all of these rods come through on all 5 of my builds. On each one, these rods have acted perfectly fine. But I guess this build is just a nightmare. Literally everything that could go wrong with this build does. Pretty crazy. Maybe not literally everything, but there's a lot of issues that come up with this build. Guess it's just one of those projects, you know? Nothing seems to be going right. Okay, so we put the tube in. God, what? Again, there's 2 in a row. 2 in a row on the same hole. How is that even possible? What the heck? I was just trying to put it in just enough. Alright, that's kind of insane. How the heck does that happen? Well, I guess it's just gonna be a really long tube or whatever.
Show me the one whose safety deems such destruction.
Okay. There's no way we're losing 3 of them in here. So this time, let's be very careful again. A little bit of glue. Place it on there very gently. Don't push it at all. And then we push on the flat side so we don't push it all the way in. Perfect. Sheesh. Who knew these rods were going to be such a problem? There we go. Got one of them out. That's good. There's going to be another one in here. I know it. I think I got it. It went somewhere. Yep, there it is. All right, I got 2 out of the 3 that I got in there out. That's not bad. I'm sure the other one's going to come out eventually. Yep, I hear it. There we go. Got all 3 of them out. Look at that. Easy. Great. That's hilarious. Alright, so we lost 3 of the tubes, and I just shook the thing and it came out. Easy enough. That's crazy. So let's continue. Don't have to worry about them anymore. So, just a little bit of glue. Barely put it in. Don't push it all. And then we use the flat side to gently push it where it needs to be. See, we're already learning. Learning from our mistakes here. Just need one more tube to go in the bottom section, and then we can move on to the top. Okay, that tube is all covered in glue, so let's move on to a different one. How about you? It's tricky because these things are so tiny. Okay, don't push it in. Then use the flat side. Okay. There we go. So that's all in. I'm just gonna clean that up in a little bit. You're a surgeon? If I was a surgeon, my patient would be dead over and over again. Because unlike in surgery, well, I don't know about surgery, but you can't make these kinds of mistakes where you just like drop a tool into a patient or something. It's like, whoops. Well, let me fish that out. But at least at the very end, I get this thing working, which is nice. Assuming this thing doesn't decide to just spontaneously combust, despite the fact it's been working perfectly this whole time. You never know with this build. This build has been showcasing so many issues. Just 6 more, and then we can finally just move on from this chassis. Okay, be very careful, because I really cannot fix this one. Okay, perfect. Good. That's 1 down, 5 more to go. Good. With these tubes, what I'm doing is I'm checking each side of the tube to see which side looks nicer, and then I'm going to try and keep that on the outside. Because I like having nice looking tubes here. Okay, very carefully. There we go. Just very carefully. We will clean this up a little bit later. Okay. So we do not press on it with the spiky part. Push it in with the flat end. Yes. Good. 3 more. Just 3 more, you guys.
I'm right.
All right. 2 more. It's always very tempting to push these tubes in with the spiky portion, which is why I kept doing it. But as you see, it has the risk of pushing it all the way through, which is not good. Last one. Just a little bit of glue. Okay. Just flatten it out here. Why does that not want to be flat? How weird. Alright, well that one likes to be sticking up, so I guess we're gonna have to file it down. How annoying. That was the very last one, too. But that is okay. We can just fix it by filing it down. Just gotta be careful not to hit the metal. Almost there.
This resistance.
Ah, Mr. Kirk. Oh, right, I call you Mr. Kirk, because everything else is really long in your name. Welcome back. Have I been? Just fine. This build is annoying. For whatever reason, it likes to give me basically all the issues that normally do not pop up. Like, I've never once accidentally pushed these tubes all the way in, yet I did it 3 times here. Plus, I've also never had a tube just stick out where I needed to file it. Yet, there we go. I have to do it. So it's a very strange build. It just has problems after problems that I've never had before. But it's okay. We can fix all of them. Okay. That should be good. Everything is pretty flat. See ya, Bob. I might not be live tomorrow, but I will have hopefully have a full video showing this lightsaber off in its full glory. Basically, it's the customer's video where you get to see the whole thing fully built, and I try and go over as much as I can about it so that he knows how to operate it and everything to keep in mind. But yeah, you'll be able to see the full finished product hopefully tomorrow, if not tomorrow, the day after. Well, thanks for tuning into the live, like always. Okay, just a little bit more filing. Your first NeoPixel arrived yesterday. Nice. I remember my first NeoPixel. It's the craziest thing ever. Especially because before NeoPixel existed, it was just, I guess you guys call it baselit these days, but that was all that existed. That, or you chained a bunch of LEDs together, and then it kind of mimicked NeoPixel, but it just had a single color and wasn't very fluid. But yeah, I remember having my first NeoPixel lightsaber in hand, and it was absolutely crazy. So hopefully you're having a lot of fun with it. There we go. Should be good. Now let me grab a tiny bit of acetone, then I'll clean up the metal. Alright. Here we go, just gotta do this carefully. Don't want this to be another screw up here. Alright, we're gonna be very careful. Just tiny amounts of acetone just to clean things up a bit. And that is it. Just to clean things up. We will not be getting it on plastic today. We're only getting it on the metal so that we can clean up any leftover glue. Okay. Hopefully that is good. Okay. Should be fine. Let's carefully pack things up before we make a mess. All right. Just make sure everything slides in just fine. Yep. Not getting caught on anything, which is good. Very good. Okay. So, we're looking at a fully completed chassis. We now have all of the tiny little rods at the top and the midsection. All of them are in. They're all glued. It's looking great. Let's go ahead and put a battery in, make sure everything still works. Where did my battery go? Pretty sure I had one lying around somewhere. Oh, there it is. Yep, looking good.
Welcome. Core stability at 93.138%.
I can still see some light coming through all the
Ready.
tubes.
Monitoring energy flux.
Very good.
Core stability confirmed. Goodbye.
It's all looking pretty good. Let's see here.
Welcome. Core stability at 93.138%.
Yep, looking good.
Ready. Monitoring energy flux. Core stability confirmed. Maintenance mode deactivated. Crystal core yielded. Goodbye.
So now we're just going to clean some stuff up and then move on to the emitter pedals. And then that'll be pretty much it for this entire build. It'll be completely done. And then tomorrow I'll be working on the completed video, showing it off, going over everything. And that'll be posted as a proper YouTube video. So let's clean up a bit, put my excess tubes away. There we go. Because we no longer need our file. Don't need the tubes. This way. Glue? No glue. I wish we could use glue, but don't have anything left. There we go. Okay. So now that we have the chassis 100% complete, I may glue down these black sections somehow, because they keep moving. But I'm gonna leave them for now and then ask my customer which he prefers, if he wants me to glue them or maybe just remove them. Whatever works best for him. So let's turn it off for now. Here we go. And then put these guys off to the side. So now we're going to work on replacing the emitter pedals. We're going to be swapping this one and this one. Well, I'm going to remove these, put these over here, and then I think I'm going to add my own emitter pedals to the Astoria workshop. Maybe I'll do that on my own time. Because this is what my customer wants. He wants this one because it has a very nice contrast, color contrast with the grip section, which I agree. It's very nice having that more orangey brown look compared to the yellowy brown. And then the rest is pretty nicely weathered as well. So I agree with his choice here. So these things are really annoying. Let me open it up and show you. There are 4 tiny screws for each emitter pedal arm to make it go up and down. These fall out all the time. It's really, really annoying. I hear you can add glue or whatever to them, but I don't know how people do that without ruining the moving action of it. Because from what I can tell, when I tighten these too much, it reduces the mobility of the emitter pedals. So I have no idea how you're supposed to add glue in here while still maintaining the movement. So pretty much you just use this as a display, so you're not going to be swinging it around. And then I say every time you take it out, you need to tighten these. Make sure you go around. It's tedious, it's a lot of work, but you basically go around, tighten them. So let's go ahead and get that done here. We're going to take off the emitter pedals. Luckily, it involves these screws, which basically never come out. I've never had an issue with them falling out. So, how I normally do this is one at a time. I like having them open while I do it. Oh, looks like TikTok says I'm being inactive. I have to fix that. There we go. Weird. Okay, so what I might do is I might just remove all of them. It's going to be kind of tedious, but that's kind of how it is. I think there's 8 emitter pedals. Each of them have 2, so I have to unscrew 16 of these. Something like that. And they're so tiny. They're easy to lose. Just a pain. But at least you get a really cool effect once it's done, because then you get this emitter opening mechanism. Okay. That's another set. I think I'll use this opportunity to tighten the screws as well, because it gives me a little more access to everything. Yep. Alright, that's 4. Halfway done with removing these guys. So if you guys are unaware, the emitter pedals on Rey's lightsaber are actually supposed to be heat stained. So there is, or there was, an option to get heat-stained emitter pedals from the Saber Armory, which is the store that sells and makes these Rey hilts. However, it's been long enough where all of their heat-stained emitter pedal mechanism thingies have sold out. So unfortunately, I couldn't get them some. I have some of my own, but I'm not really willing to sell them because they're so rare these days. But that's pretty much what they're supposed to look like. But I'm keeping that set for myself, because as I said, I have no clue whether I'll be able to get any more in the future. So those are exclusively for myself. Okay. Two more. It's gonna be weird seeing this without the pedals. Here we go. Alright. Last one, and then we're gonna move over and grab the pedals from the other hilt. Okay. Now let's look at how weird this is. Yep, very strange.
I have to sort this out on my own. Without the council
Kinda cool though.
and without you.
So let me go ahead and tighten these, because I have really good access to them now. Again, I have no idea how people claim they glue these in. Because tightening them reduces the amount of
Isn't about you.
mobility. I don't get it. Or maybe they're only referring to the emitter pedals that actually hold the emitter pedals in. Like the ones I just removed. No idea. This is pretty nice. I have good access here.
I can't stay here any longer. Not now.
I'm afraid this is going to stop them from opening well, though. Okay, that's probably it. Yeah, look at that, see? They don't even want to move. That's the problem with... That's the problem here. I can't tighten them all the way. It's very annoying. I guess you'd have to add glue just on the inside, but that's some serious precision gluing that I am not confident in. Now I have to loosen them all, just ever so slightly. How's that? That's much better. And I'm just gonna make sure that these bottom ones are all tight. Because like I said, there's 4 for each arm. This was definitely tedious. Oh. Looks like it's missing one. Interesting. I wonder when that fell out. That's okay. This is why you always check. And it's also why you get extras. I got like 50 extras or something. Just in case they ever get lost. So, we just replace it. I have no idea where it disappeared to. But we have replacements. And these emitter arms are probably exactly the reason why this hilt is discontinued. Just a real pain. Probably more of a pain to make, to manufacture. Okay. So we have that new one in. Okay, everything should now be tightened. How annoying. Okay. Works great. Now. What? Why did that one fall out? I just tightened them all. Oh, hold on. This was the missing screw. Wasn't it? Yeah. Huh. Well, guess we found it. Let me take the other one out, just because the paint doesn't really match. Almost. Basically just trying to loosen this screw so I can take it out and put the other one in. There we go. Got it. Do you wear wigs? Are you the same guy who asked that before in the previous chat? That'd be hilarious if you are. Because that was like a week ago or so. Yeah, that's crazy. See ya, Mr. Kirk. I think your name was Tyler. See ya, Tyler. Thanks for tuning in again. Hopefully you can see the finished product. later. I'll have it on YouTube at the very least in the next couple days. Just want to get this thing done. Have I worn wigs? I actually have. I have worn wigs before. There we go. Hopefully that's that. I don't want to deal with that anymore. Now, we have to remove these guys. And then swap them over. I'm gonna do it one at a time here. Basically, I'm just gonna remove one of these pedals and put it on over there. So one pedal at a time. Though it seems like it does not want to be removed so easily. Let's see, do I have a smaller one? Maybe this one? There we go. That'll work just fine then. So do you have to go get a kyber crystal, or you already have one? That's tricky, because for the most part, I have kyber crystals here. I have quartz crystals. But most of them do not fit, because they have to be pretty small. Lightsabers take a very specific size range. So I try and find them on Etsy. And then when I can, I message the seller to see if he has specific sizes he could sell me instead of just trying to get random ones. There we go. You got a saber from Saberforge, and that thing is cooked, really? Yeah, Saberforge has been in the business for a long time, since even before all of these, resellers and mass-produced sabers from China, pretty much. In the past, they had a very rocky history, I guess. I'm not entirely up to speed with what they did in the past that people didn't like so much, and they were not a good company. But I heard that they improved over the years, but I really don't know too much about their quality control or whatever else. Hopefully they have good customer service, because if that thing's messed up, you should reach out to them. Okay, looks like that one is nice and secure. Whatever sort of rust Astoria Workshop used or paint really secures these things on tight, which is good, but also it's tricky to take off. go. Almost. This whole lightsaber project is just one big tedious job. Lots of things about it require a lot of patience, a lot of very small inner workings. Why is this one so stuck on? Let's take the screws out. There we go. Whatever weathering he used really likes to stick these pedals on. Paint. But nothing permanent. Yep. Here we go. Now we have 2 emitter pedals. Yay. Although, let me see. Is it sitting flat? Might be sticking up a bit because of the excess paint, so I'm just going to remove it and then sand it down a bit. I want all the emitter pedals to sit flush. Very delicate process. You do a good job. Thank you. I'm trying my best. You don't want to rush anything because that's when mistakes happen. Or apparently, mistakes just happen anyways. Okay. Let's see. Yours is still micro USB. Are you able to make it a Type-C? I mean, yeah, I guess. I'm pretty sure it's possible. I don't know what soundboard that Saberforge uses, but for the most part, you're able to swap it over to a USB-C. It will require a specific place to put the USB-C port. So I don't know if your hilt has it. Okay, I'm just sanding down the bottom of this emitter pedal. Trying to make it flat. Okay, should be good. So let's put it on. There we go. Man. These screws are so tiny. Damn it. Popped out again. Right there. Perfect. Got it. Interesting. This pedal just likes to be high, and I don't know why. Maybe it's bent somewhere. Yeah, it just needs to sit flat. Very interesting. Guess I'll deal with this one later. Probably have to bend this one so that it's straight or something. Looks straight to me. Wonder why it's not straight when it's tightened. That's really weird.
I wonder if your feelings on this matter are clear, Ludwig.
Very strange.
I see the Padawan needs one last lesson.
Well, I'm just gonna screw it in and leave it as it is. We'll see what happens to it later. Yep. Strange. Okay then, let's move on. 3 of 8. How tiring. Zoom out a bit. Something like that should be fine.
Tell me, is it the chosen one?
Okay. Go. That will be 3 pedals. Just 5 more to go. Go. There we go. Halfway there. See? 4 of them done. Probably will not subjugate you guys to watching the other pair of emitter petals being added to the hilt, because it's a pretty boring part of this process. Go.
I will never yield to you, girl. You'll have to kill me.
That might be the Mandalorian way, but it's not my way. Not anymore.
There we go. 5 done. 3 to go. Okay, so this pretty much concludes the sixth one. Just have 2 more emitter pedals to swap over. Not too bad. There we go. There we go. One more emitter pedal to go. And then we'll be done with swapping over the emitter pedals. In the home stretch, you guys. Okay. So the emitter pedals are completely finished now. They've been swapped over. And there we go. That is the swapped over emitter pedals. Looks really, really good, actually. Yeah, they look great. That's awesome. So now, let's see here. I don't think I'll subject you guys to watching me put on these heat-treated pedals. I'll just stick to doing that on my own. I'll show you guys in a future video or something. It'll end up looking like that. Something like that. Which does look a little weird, but it's not too bad. And they're a little more accurate to the movies. So I'm just gonna put the old pedals away. I really do want to put them on though. I'll put them on later. So to close off this stream, it's going to be a pretty short stream here. Just an hour and 40 minutes essentially. But to close it off, basically I'm just going to show you that the lightsaber works. Once again, this is the chassis. Once it lights up. Alright, it was asleep. Just gotta wake it up. Alright, what's going on here? Take the battery out. There we go.
Welcome.
Just wasn't waking up
Core
from its
stability
sleep mode.
at 93.138%. Ready. Core stability confirmed. Maintenance mode deactivated. Crystal core shielded. Goodbye.
Alright, let's put it inside the hilt. So this is something else that I did between streams, I guess. So these screws at the bottom of the pommel, right here, there's 4 of them. With the, I guess the first batch or first couple batches of these hilts, basically the screws were too long, so they stuck out inside the hilt here, and it prevented a chassis from going in. So I just took some time to cut them down, which I hadn't been able to do before, but I got like a drill press thing that helped me hold my Dremel press. Hold my Dremel in place. That way I was able to cut them down pretty easily. So just put it inside the hilt, align these channels, the screw channels, with these 2 screws here. Got the connection sound, and then boom. Blaster effects. Turning it off. Turning it on. So let's go ahead and put in a blade, just to show you that everything is finally working. So this here is the blade retention screw. All right, come on. Just gotta grab it, I guess. Okay. Then we put in a blade. Very carefully so we don't smack these pedals. And then we tighten the set screw once more. There we go. We now have the blade. So let me zoom out a bit. Kind of tricky with my desk here. There we go. And then we'll swap to the different sound fonts just to show off some colors here.
Sound bank selection. Rey Skywalker. Blue.
We have blue. Sorry if it's a bit loud. The speaker's right next to the microphone.
Rey Skywalker. Blue. Green.
Green. Come on. My button timing might be a bit long. Button timing is essentially how long you have to press the button for it to activate.
Rey Skywalker. Purple. Red.
We'll do red. Not bad.
Sound bank selection. Rey Scavenger. Crystal focus. Crystal.
These are all the fonts I have set up on it.
Youngling.
And there you go. Rainbow.
Sound bank selection. Rey Skywalker. Blue. Green. Purple. White.
White sounds fun.
Sound bank selection. Rey Skywalker. Red.
I think I'm going to set it back up to the Rey font.
Sound bank selection.
You don't just have power. You have his power.
There we go. And we're back to the beginning. So yeah, we managed to build this entire lightsaber from scratch, start to finish, even with all of the hiccups and mistakes and thinking that the soundboard was messed up, swapping it to 2 other soundboards until realizing, oh wait a minute, it's not a soundboard issue. It's a what do you call it? A firmware issue. So, yeah. Thank you all so much for checking in on this live stream and all my other ones. Hopefully you guys enjoyed and you got to see a lightsaber being made from start to finish, even though this one took way longer than usual. At least you got to see it from pretty much a live view from start to finish. So hopefully you guys learned some things and how to overcome and come across different obstacles and get them solved. If there's anything else about this lightsaber that I work on, I will go live once again.
Crystal core exposed. Repair and
Okay, looks like... There we go.
chassis disengaged.
You gotta make sure that
Crystal core
the
exposed.
screws on the side are aligned
Repair
with
and
the
maintenance mode operational.
screw channels, so it can get caught a little bit. So there we go. And undo it.
Chassis disengaged. Crystal core exposed. Repair and maintenance mode operational.
One last force activation.
Welcome. Core stability at 93.138%.
Looks like I got it confused a bit there.
Welcome. Core stability at 93.138%. Ready. Core stability confirmed. Maintenance mode deactivated. Crystal core shielded. Goodbye.
There you go. So now it is 100% complete. And you guys should be seeing a full video on the completed product in the next couple days. So thanks again for watching all these things. Maybe I'll live stream more often. I'll probably live stream some of the builds that I do that I've already made build videos on. Maybe I'll show off some of my collection. But for now, this is going to be the end of the live stream. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you guys either in some future videos or in a future live stream. And real quick for Nate Everforest, the website for custom hilts. If you want a fully custom hilt, it's going to be the Custom Saber Shop. You can check out the MHS builder. Then you can kind of go through all of their different options that they provide, and you can pretty much put together a hilt. Otherwise, I highly recommend going to the Saber Armory, which is where you can get this hilt, or used to before it sold out and discontinued. and a bunch of other ones, but they're not necessarily custom. They're just replica hilts, or some of them are custom designs they've done. But yeah, if you want your own custom one, go to the custom saber shop. That's a good place to go. All right. Thanks for tuning in. See you guys later.